life is grounded in a firm routine of coffee, sleep, and work. I am not boring, I just stick to what I know.
Good morning, world. This is Real Story Radio, coming to you live and direct from the Flashpoint Omnimedia Mega Complex on Wednesday, March 13th, 2013.
Today, Abby Hathorn, our VIP, our 17-year-old fashion guru, is going to be in the house, and we want to give her all the time we can. So when she gets here, it's going to be business as usual. But it really cuts out our show. It really does, because when Abby gets here, the truth is, if she shows up, we're going to put her on. I mean, they've driven all the way from Birmingham.
One of our columnists and a very talented fashion blogger who is just, taking the world by storm, Abby Hathorn. I want to tell you a little bit about Abby before we bring her on. Abby is 17 years old. She's from a small town. She's a small town Mississippi native who's now living and loving life in Birmingham. She's a freelance writer, stylist, and blogger. Her blog, The Vintage Inspired Fashionista, is a platform to showcase Abby's love of vintage and modern apparel, fashion tips and trends, do-it-yourself projects, community events, and anything else that strikes her fancy. She is a member of the Independent Fashion Bloggers Association and Alabama Bloggers. Prior to the launch of the VIP blog, which we are proud to carry on our website,
Right.
Abby's desire was to make the voice of good kids heard by helping to negate the 16 and pregnant with 16 and successful. After a year of blogging, she realized there was a need for better coverage of community events. So with heels on her feet and ambition in her heart, she set out to transform the 30-second news clip into something more comprehensive and dazzling. Abby is passionate about getting involved with community events, no matter how big or small, and bringing her readers and followers along for the adventure. Good morning, Abby. Welcome to the Flashpoint Omnimedia Mega Complex.
But this is your first visit to the Mega Complex. I know you're overwhelmed.
Yes, it is. Came from Birmingham and long trip. Woke up at 5 o'clock, so you should be happy that I'm here.
But I do want you to comment on something for me, because you say it, and I'm very impressed with it. And that's not just blowing smoke. I'm very impressed. Is that that perception about teenagers, like the 16 and pregnant, is true. And I have my own children, and that always drove me crazy, because they worked hard and they did a lot of good things, and they're doing great now, and they did great then. And you hate to see that perception, and yet it's kind of shoved down our throat when you watch cable.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
And for you to be doing all the things you are at the age that you are, just give me an idea of kind of what the reaction you get from other adults. Because I know that from me and from Rex and from Brenda Carradine, who's a big supporter, and the people around you, I know you get that positive.
Yeah.
But I also know people got to also look at you sometimes on the other side of it, which is they're goofy. But
yeah.
Go ahead and say.
I know I've had a lot of people, I hand out business cards where I go, and I'll hand out one to somebody like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. You're 17, you're going out there, and you're trying to be successful, and it works. And I've had some people who are like, well, you just need to enjoy being a teenager and just go have fun and party it up, when that's not really who I am.
Right.
And I think our listeners would like to hear or like to know how you kind of came to how this all started.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have always have this forgive me for using this term, obsession with fashion?
Oh no, it's a real obsession.
So give our readers a little bit of the how it came about, the genesis of it and
Right.
stuff.
And understand that our readers are actually listening right now, so
Yeah.
don't write anything.
I listen.
Well,
Nobody likes it.
that's okay. At 16, I started blogging as a way, it was an outlet basically. I was always kind of picked on at school for dressing up and always looking nice. I like to dress up and look nice. Always liked vintage clothes. My grandmother, I've looked at countless photo albums, like, who is that? I want that dress, I want that car. And everybody, is into contemporary more stuff, wearing just American Eagle graphic tees. And I try to combine those two together with my passion for vintage and modern apparel. I wanted to be able to show that 16-year-old girls can be successful, can make a good impression on society, and the Vintage Inspired Passionista was an outlet for that. I didn't know that it was going to spawn the newspaper and spawn the Town and Gown magazine. I didn't know that all of these things were going to come out of it, and when they did, it was fantastic, and it's been really supported by the community, and I'm so thankful.
I like this. Out of nowhere. She's an automatic pose.
For our listeners, I want to just kind of tell you what just happened. I was taking the opportunity while Mojo and Abby were talking to take a photograph of Abby, and Abby, just as a true professional, she's
in the middle of a sentence.
She's in the middle of a sentence. She's listening to Mojo, and she turns and gives me this great pose. You know,
it'll be on the internet later. It'll be. Give another pose. He needs a good one. Give him the vote.
Kind of like this radio thing.
That's it.
It's pretty easy.
But people
handle pressure really well. We've got about 5 minutes left, and I know that our listeners can't see this, but I can see you've got notes in front of you, and you've obviously done a lot of prep here. Is there anything else that we haven't talked to you about that you want to mention?
Well, there's a lot of places I'm going to be in March and April. My schedule is very full. This week I'll be attending the Christine Moore Trunk Show at Gus Meyer, located at the Summit in Birmingham, Alabama. There will also be a runway show the next day, March 21st, in Huntsville, Alabama, at the Botanical Gardens, called The Affair of the Hat, and it's presented by Gus Meyer, and it features Christine Moore, who is a milliner. She makes very renowned Kentucky Derby hats. They're gorgeous, really awesome. I'll also be meeting the designer Joffer Kayock, March 28th at Gus Meyer. And then I will be back in Columbus April 5th through the 7th for Spring Pilgrimage. You can come see me at the Tennessee Williams Play in front of Old Alfred Drugstore for Brenda Carradine.